week, Joe Biden became the first American president to recognize in any way the Tulsa race massacre, which occurred in 1921. On the one hand, it is upsetting, but not at all surprising, that no previous American president did recognize this. The deep history of America's racism is something that white America only looks at in very specific ways and in very sanitized ways. And the story of the Tulsa race massacre occurring in the 1920s didn't fit into that. Nonetheless, it is significant because the fact that Joe Biden, an old white man who happens to be president, did this suggests that we are now forcing a conversation about race in a way that has never really occurred before in American history. This, of course, is terrifying for Republicans. This is why the Republicans are trying to turn the word 1619 into some kind of profanity, because we can't talk about 1619, because that means talking about hundreds of years of chattel slavery and the apartheid system that followed it. But ultimately, the question of whether we ever really talk about America's racial history honestly or not is hugely important. And when the Republican Party says that if we talk about this, it'll change everything about America, they're right. And that's why we need to talk about all of this history.